Hey, I'm live. Got everything crazy here. We got the blinds people coming, so so nothing is set up right. I'm gonna go post this link on the website anyway. If you're finding this recording, you should go to jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where we post all of the information about our workshops here every day of the week. And today we're working on Itsy Bitsy Spider and Brahms Lullabye. I'm going to go get this link posted, and then I'm going to adjust. I forgot to turn the lighting on, so we have to move it. It's been pure crazy here. So we're going to just make sure that this is all working correctly, and then we will make a couple of other fancy adjustments, and then we're going to play. Dun, 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 dun. I've been playing Skater's Waltz all morning. Have thoughts on that. The computer's running super slow. Let's see if that's there. Okay, so everything's working right. People will start filtering in. Sandy and Valerie are already here. I got to move the sound is good. That's good. I got to turn the lights on and move the sound thing up a little closer. So give me, stare at my bookshelf for a minute. All right, let's see. Laurel's in. Gary and Diane are already in. Sound is okay. All right, good. Well, we've got. I gotta hit this thing. I'm like, why is the lighting not working? I gotta push that button. Yeah, oh yeah, that changes everything. All right, so hopefully we're set now for the day. By the way, we're going to run out of stuff to do today. So will you also make sure that you have Skater's Waltz available today? We're going to play that as well. And I'll tell you guys why in just a minute. Move to ukulele. Yeah, I've got pure insanity as usual going on around here. And my hope is this is the last week of the numbskullery. That's my thought. It seems like all of the time I am fighting the crazies that go on around here. And you're supposed to be logging in and going, oh, it's a peaceful time to play ukulele. And instead you get me. Blah! So, let's see. What time is it? It's 1:01. All right. So we'll start in, if you're watching the recording, let's say 3 minutes and we'll start. Let's see. So let's say hi to everybody. Sandy made it in. Valerie made it in. Laurel is in. Gary and Diane already said hi to. Lindy is here. Evelyn, another session. Evelyn, we're going to have to cancel guitar today. Don't let me forget to make mention of that. Guitar's got to get axed today, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Barbara and Jack are on deck. They're ready to rock. Cindy's ready to rock. Here's what happens. I'm kind of a whistler under the best of circumstances, which, as you know, is a mixed blessing. I like whistling. I think it's fun, but some people want to shoot you when you whistle. So I try to keep it to myself. Let's see. Jana's in from Texas. Renee in. Chicken in from. We have named this the Renee chord, by the way. For those of you who don't know, this is named after. It's an F chord, right? But it's Renee's chord. So she's keeping it going. Phyllis is in. Welcome in from Canada. Carol is in. Yuke Noob is in from Argentina, and Kay is in. Kay is. One of the people who keeps pushing me for this and that and the other thing. So Kay is a mixed blessing in my life. She is very, very, very awesome all of the time, but she makes me work hard. So, all right. What time? Well, let's get started. What the heck? So today we're going to do if you did not print out Skater's Waltz already from yesterday, make sure you have it printed out or with you in some manner, because we'll wrap up today. It won't take us very long to go through the two tunes today. And so let's pull up Itsy Bitsy Spider first, and then we'll run through that and Brahms Lullabye. and then I'll tell you the sad story of what it's like to be Gary, and then we'll play Skater's Waltz as well. So Skater's Waltz was from yesterday. If you don't have it with you, go ahead and grab that because we're going to play that today as well. Fran is in. She forgot to say hi. What the heck? So you get to the page. Well, here's how you should do it, right? You should just be subscribed, and then you should say, you should just go to YouTube and log in. And then apparently, I think how it works is that my name suddenly pops up as being live, and then you just click and you're in, right? Or you can go through the Jolly Roger website, which is fine because then you can double check what we're playing today, and then you come here and then you you start the video and then you log in. Some of you guys don't log in, it's fine, but yeah, definitely if you're logged in, say hi. What the heck? It only takes well, I want to know who you are. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know why in the world you decided to put yourself through this, right? Remember when it was fun? Somewhere over the rainbow. I don't know the second chord. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up, way up high. That's it. C, G, F, C. Is that right? Somewhere over the rainbow. No. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Yeah, that's close enough. Remember that? Remember you thought you were going to be playing that on ukulele? That was a while back, probably. Let's see. Red's in from Wheat Ridge. Diane's in from Littleton. Kate promises me she's not being as annoying as she can be. Could be. Let's see. Vicky and Christine and a few Bozeman U players are meeting outside of the park this Friday. Bozeman coming at you in your face, right? So, yeah, it's exciting. What suggestions on meeting for the park? Remember, these are very quiet instruments, so you definitely want to be in a circle probably, and you got to be 6 feet apart, right? But try not to be more than 6 feet apart because you really do have to play pretty loud. If you've got some good singers who can really belt it out, that helps out a ton. We've had I think Aaron, I know Aaron and a couple others are in our group here in Denver have gotten together outside, and I think you can sing with the mask on, right? So if you're just strumming and everybody's singing and strumming, there's no reason not to get together as long as you have a mask, right? But yeah, getting together outside. Up in Bozeman, it's going to turn to winter here in about 5 minutes, so they better take advantage of it now. That's exciting. That's good to hear that. Cindy. Cindy? No. All right, let's get going. Let's play Itsy Bitsy Spider. Now, was it Jennifer? Who sent me an email? Hold on. Let me find this out. Am I still logged in? I'm not logged in anymore. Anyway, somebody says, hey, we should do a bunch of kid songs. And we might do that at some point, right? Itsy Bitsy Spider is one of those songs that as an adult, you might not want to play it. But as you're teaching somebody else, or certainly if you're working with little kids and you want to sing a song, Itsy Bitsy Spider, dead on what you want. And the other fun thing about Itsy Bitsy Spider is you don't have to really... You can add words to it and you can goof around, get yourself, some of the blues going. The itsy bitsy spider. Well, it was a tiny little spider, right? To do something silly and make it more fun than it is. All right. So part of the reason why you want to be pretty solid with kid songs is sometimes you are going to teach a kid somewhere, and once they find out you're a ukulele player, they're going to want you to teach their kids something. Or I get that pretty often at the studio. I get a mom calling and saying, hey, my daughter bought a ukulele, or my kids have a ukulele, or I want to give them music lessons, I want to start them on ukulele. And the assumption is because it's small, it must be easy and it must be for kids. None of that, as you know, could be further from the truth. Just because it's small just means it's small. That doesn't necessarily mean it's set up for kids. And so But you'll get people who, when they find out you use a ukulele, they're going to want you to teach your kids. So, having a few kid songs available that aren't terribly difficult is a good idea. Now, as I've told you guys a million times, I don't start students on the key of C because the G chord is hanging out in there. And you'll notice in this song, G chord plays a good role. I think that taking that shape and teaching that in and of itself, by itself, all on its own, Itsy Bitsy Spider is a perfect opportunity for that, because you're going to take this G shape and then you're going to move that up to D7 and then you're going to move it back, right? And so now you're starting, these are best friends in life, G and D7. Okay, they're buddies. They hang out together. And so this business of getting from one to the other and back, one, back, okay, that's something you can work on without even strumming your ukulele, right? Just work on getting that G chord down. I notice when I have students finally get around to the G chord, they all hate it, right? And they're like, "Oh, this is such a bummer. I hate this chord." And I always tell them, don't get too hateful about G chord, because you got that chord coming up. And so working on a G chord when you're new is important. Those of you guys, a lot of you will remember, I didn't like G chord in the beginning. And then now it's no big deal, but in the beginning it is. And so you use Itsy Bitsy Spider to help get them past that. My second verse was the great big spider. Oh yeah, the great big spider. That's a good idea. The great big spider went up did you have it go up bigger than a water spout? I don't know what a water spout is. Went up the water spout. I think it's a drain pipe, right? I think is what it says. Hey, Patty. All right, so let's talk about just the two chords. We just talked about it. Itsy bitsy. Okay. And the fun thing about this song is that you're going to go to D7 for 4 beats and then back, and not 4 beats, 2 beats, right? Because it's in 6, and let's talk about that. That's another thing I want you to just be clear on. The song is in 6, right? That means there's supposed to be 6 beats in everything, in every measure, but that's a lot, right? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. That's 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's ridiculous. You're not going to do that. You're going to do it in 2. So your choices would be 2, 3, or 6, right? You know your math, remember? If it's in 6, you could do it in 3, but it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. When you're in 6/8, 3 very rarely works out. It works out depending on how it's arranged for green sleeves. That's it, okay? Mostly when you see 6/8, you're thinking, I'm going to play it in 2, okay? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. So you want to be able to teach that a little bit. You want to say, all right, it's in 6/8. What does that mean? And everybody says, 6 beats in a measure. You say, all right, but we're not, that's too many beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what should we do? Usually the next answer will be 3, because it's half of 6. And then we dispel that. Okay. So you want to be thinking, when you see 6/8, you're going to think 2. In this case, the count in, there's 5 on the MP3. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The itsy bitsy, and that's really not a good way to think about this. I have all that there just so you can talk about it. We can make sure that you are clear. When I start a song, that's the first thing I look at. What's my rhythm going to be? How many beats in each measure am I going to get? When I see 6/8, I think 2. That's how I think. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to add to that. Okay. So 2 beats per measure. Let's get your G chord, and it's going to go to D7 and come back. 1, 2. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. This is a great place to stop and talk about repeats. We talk about them almost every single day in here. And I want for you, right now, you're telling me, what does that stuff mean there? When you get to 16, there's a bracket over measure 16, and it says 1, and there's a little bracket up there. Hopefully at this point you're solid on, hey, that's my first repeat. When I come through the first time, I'm going to play into 1. Okay. I am not going to play into the 16th measure on the second time through. That's what that bracket above 17 does, is it tells you you're going to play this on the second time through. And repeats are sort of the bane of my existence. When we hand out new music, I explain it, and everybody says, what? And so we re-explain it. And then we come back the next week, and we say, all right, let's make sure everybody knows what the repeats are. And so we explain it, and people say, what? And then the third week we come back, and I say, all right, I want to make sure everybody's clear on the repeats. And I say, here's how they go. And then somebody says, somebody who has poor attendance or poor listening skills says, could you repeat that? Okay, so get your repeats right. Get them solid in your head so that you know first time that first repeat has a 1 in it, the second repeat has a 2 in it, and Linda's late, so she'll be the one who messes up the repeats, right? So that's what I really, really, really will promise you in your musical life. Repeats are coming up. They're coming up a lot, and getting really pretty solid at reading them is important. Okay. Also notice that this backward repeat with the dots on this side is going to go wherever, in this case, to the top of the song measure 1, but you don't play that little pickup note, okay, in measure 0. You don't play that again, because notice the pickup note in measure 0 shows up at the end of measure 16. So it's a pickup note from there back into 1. Okay. And I think our tendency is to assume that the repeat goes back to the top of the page. But as you guys have found out pretty consistently, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes to a different place than you think. And that's why you use a highlighter. You put a piece of highlighter and you run a mark down at the entrance into 16. That reminds your brain to think, am I on the first repeat or the second repeat? And then I usually put some highlighter up at wherever my eyeball needs to go to. And so I'm going to put a piece of highlighter up on measure 1 here so my eyeball tracks more quickly that way. Vicky finally made it in. Vicky, we hear you and Christine are getting ready to party on Friday. We're very excited about that. All right. Those are the chords. Chords at your level, not a big deal. I can tell you when you teach somebody, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. So make sure you get that clean for them early on. Don't, after I spend all this time teaching you, hold your ukulele like this and put your thumb here, you'll get plenty of players that do their G chord upside down. Okay, they'll put the middle finger, index finger. You get a lot of people doing that, and you can't let them do that. Make sure that they get the G chord switched around properly. If they're playing it like this, it's upside down, and it will become a problem, because then they go here, and then, oh, they got a D7, and then they'll start doing this, and then it's not good. Okay, so don't let them do this. Absolutely teach them to do this. Okay. That's it. That's very exciting. Now, measure. Melody. We want to, first thing you do when you're looking at melody, what's the first thing you do? Think. Looking for anything that's bigger than 4, right? Because if you're in first position, 2, 3, 4, everything above 4 is going to be a problem. And look at there, you only have some 5s. So in this case, we'll slide our pinky up there. Now, if you have 7s or 8s, you're going to probably need to switch positions, right? And we usually, not always, but very often, we'll go to the 5th position. This has positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this will cover 5, 6, 7, and 8, okay? And on ukulele, we can reach down to 10, 11, and 12 if we really need to. Hopefully we don't need to very often, but that covers the next section of your ukulele. And of course, you've also figured out sometimes playing in 2nd position or sometimes playing in 4th position will make a lot of sense for you. Okay, so we can play this song in 1st position. There are no 1s. There's no 1s, so you literally could get away with playing in 2nd position, and then your pinky is going to be on 5. Then you don't have to move your hand at all. The problem with 2nd position is when you see a 2, you tend to think of the middle finger, and now you have to think of index. So it's kind of up to you. I generally play in 1st position unless there's a really solid reason to be in second position. I would say this song gives you a really solid reason to play in second position. In that way, you've got all of your notes covered. You don't have to move any. And again, you just have to remember that these are 2 and 3 now. I of course will play in this position and reach my pinky over to get the 5s, okay? Because that's how I roll. Let's give it a try from the top. 1, 2. Again. Okay, got a typo on there. Last measure, I got a 0 on the 4th string. Measure 17, that 0. That should be a 3 on the 2nd string. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. My software is set for low G all of the time because it's faster and easier when I drag and drop stuff in. But every now and then I forget to fix certain things. And this is an older piece of sheet music that I just updated recently, and I didn't fix that one thing. Now, let's talk about how you, if you're a teacher or if you've got a kid that you're teaching to play or whatever, or if you're sitting there in your house and there's a person sitting right here looking at this screen. I'm looking at you, Jack. This next way to play would be to put those 2 things together. And by the way, this summer or this fall in Monday Night Ukulele, we're going to be doing this very thing. I want one of you to play chords and I want the other one to play melody. And so that way you have to learn to work together. And we're going to do that right now. You're going to play the melody. I'm going to hum or sing the melody, right? And I'm going to play the chords. Okay, and when we're playing like that and you blow the melody, which you're going to do from time to time, you can't stop and fix it. You got to move on. Okay, and that's another reason why I say showing up is probably more important than practicing. Honestly, if you can show up and play with other people, there's a sense of panic that sets in when you make a mistake. You've got to move on. It's so important. Okay, I want you to play the melody. I'm going to sing. I want you to pluck with me. Now, if you are the chord player, your job is to keep the rhythm steady, and you'll see how I do it. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't care what's going on in the melody. I don't even care if you're messing up, right? I just keep going. Your job to get back into line. If I am a concert master and we are working with a soloist, I have the orchestra. I conduct the orchestra according to the soloist. But when you are in a duet, that's not necessarily the situation. You are equal partners, and so if somebody's messing up, it's incumbent upon your duet partner to keep going and for you to find your place. If I mess up, I don't want you to mess up as well, so that you slow down for me. Okay, we don't want that. We just keep going forward, and if somebody blew it, they blew it, and they got to jump back in the next convenient spot to get in, which is hopefully the very next note. Okay, so when you're working on duets, really, really important. The chord player keeps the beat steady. They are the drummer. Don't make any changes. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. You're going to play the melody. And final thought about that: singers, you are not the melody player. Okay, if you are a singer, you will be the chord player. If you're going to sing the song, you are always the chord player. What we have found time and time again is you really can't sing while you're playing the melody. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. You can get it on a simple song like this, but on a more complex song, it won't work. There's too much going on here, too much coming out of your face. As singers, you tend to massage the note a little bit, and the ukulele is not going to let you do that. So singers, you are always going to play chords. Let the instrumentalist play the melody line if you're going to play it. And a lot of times the singer will sing and then shut up, and then we have the instrumentalist play the melody, or tough uke or whatever, and then the singer comes back in and we all go to chords. And you can see that in even in modern, they're not that modern, but I'm thinking of Guns N' Roses when Slash does this introduction. The minute that it's time to start singing the song, he's down here playing chords, right? Because we let the melody go. The melody is its own thing. We don't need to help the melody person out. We need to help them out by having consistent rhythm. Okay, so let me give you the chords. You're going to play melody. Okay, don't sing. I'll sing. Okay, from the top, 1, 2. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. One more time. 2, 3, 3, 3, oh, 2, 2, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3, 5, 5. 3, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, oh, 2, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, oh, 3, 2, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3. Easy, hard. Okay. Probably when we spend all of our time talking tough uke, we don't spend nearly enough time talking about how important melody playing is, and probably that was rather challenging, right? Obviously I can't hear what you're doing, but keeping up melodically is very challenging when we're playing at basically full speed. And so hopefully you were finding that you were being very successful and knocking out every single note just exactly like you're supposed to. But there's probably also a pretty good chance you were wiping out pretty hard, right? And this fall, September and October, on Monday nights, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get your speed of playing melody up. Okay, we want you to be able to just play. When people send me emails and they say, "Hey, did you see this ukulele?" and it's usually those same two girls that are playing in Hawaii and they're playing lickety split on their thing. They're just fast, and the reason they're fast is that they worked on specifically getting the melody. One of them's getting the melody out, the other's pounding away getting the chords out, and you can be. No matter what age or how pretty or how dumb or how ugly or whatever, all that stuff that makes a great YouTube video, all that goes away. You just need to be able to play at speed. And if that speed is fast, then people forward your YouTube video to Gary, right? And so here again, we go back to those MP3s on the website. I talk about them all the time. One of the ways you can get your willingness to play through mistakes to get that to go away is to play with those MP3s. Just the melody, just play the melody line. Tough uke is not really meant to be played in an orchestral fashion, but the melody for sure is. And so if you're playing at full speed against those MP3s, you're doing really well. Okay. And if you were playing full speed with me just now, good job. Okay. But again, pretty good chance that presents a challenge for you. And if it does, we want to continue to work on that because we want you to be able to play at full speed melody for sure. Okay. All right. Let's do the tough yaks and then we'll move tough uke. When are we on? Tough uke and then we'll move on. Okay. So from the top, 1, 2, 2, strum, 3, 3, oh, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, strum, 2, 3, 5, strum, 2, 3, strum, strum, oh, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, 3, oh, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, to the top, 2, strum, 3, 3, oh, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, 2, 3, strum, strum, 3, strum, 5, strum, 2, 3, 5, strum, 2, 3, strum, strum, oh, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, strum, strum, 2, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum. Hopefully that's going well for you. Let's go through really quickly and let's do, instead of strumming, plucking. Okay. My computer has a weird thing on it. It's in the way. All right, that's fixed it. Right? So now, instead of strumming, which always sounds beautiful, by the way, always sounds really nice, let's do plucking. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 2, pluck, 3, 3, oh, pluck, pluck, 2, pluck, 3, oh, 2, pluck, 2, 3, pluck, pluck, 3, pluck, 5, pluck, 2, 3, 5, pluck, 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 go, pluck, 2, pluck, 3, oh, 2, pluck, pluck, 2, pluck, 3, 3, oh, pluck, pluck, 2, pluck, 3, oh, 2, pluck, 2, pluck, 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 oh, pluck, pluck, 2, pluck, 3, oh, 2, pluck, 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 3, pluck, pluck. Okay. My wife just walked in and said, the blinds guy is going to be here at 2 p.m. He was not supposed to be here at 2 p.m. Hence, the class is going to be, the guitar classes, get new blinds over here. So the next time that you join this thing, we will have exactly the same color and type of blinds, except they'll work. All right. These have been broken for years, and we're finally like, we got to fix those things. All right. Itsy Bitsy Spider. Lots of different ways that we play the same thing, right? Strumming, singing, plucking the melody with somebody else playing the chords, strumming the tough axe, plucking the tough axe. You're an Itsy Bitsy Spider expert. Let's go on to Brahms' Lullabye. Oh, again, alphabetized Brahms. All right, guys, I intended to have you a couple of other tunes today, but I'm just running out of time with some stuff going on here around the building and in our house and all this stuff. But tonight I got some writing time, so I'll get you a couple. Hopefully I'll get you 2 more songs for the week. I want to do a Schumann. I want to do, not Brahms. What's the guy's name? The other one, and then possibly the list as well. I've got it about 3/4 done, and I'm trying to get it raced together. I have Valerie's suggestion. I think the Liebesram, I think is how it's pronounced. So we'll have plenty more. He was busy. Today's a little short on stuff. All right, Brahms Lullabye. Let's dig in to the idea that now you're in C chord. And then in G7, F chord, back to C. Those are our chords, right? Those are the ukulele specialties. Cindy says, how about some Bartok? Yes, we'll probably do a whole Bartok week because Bartok, oddly enough, he's a minimalist composer, and he honestly, it goes right on ukulele pretty nice. So we'll probably do a whole week of Bartok, Cindy. It's a great idea. Okay, Brahms Lullabye. Let's play through it. The words are weird, right? Someday, one of you, maybe you are, let me look at the camera. Maybe you are going to rewrite the words to this and make them better. Okay. From the top. 1, 2. Oh, it's in 3. I count in 2. Hey, Pauline. I know, Cindy, right? From the top, I'll count in 2. 1, 2. Lullaby and good night. With roses be dyed, with lily bees red, his baby's wee bed. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Again. Lullaby and good night, thy mother's delight, bright lilies be thine, my darling abide. I will watch as you sleep, may your drums be so sweet. I will watch as you sleep, may your dreams be so sweet. Okay, lovely, right? So what we would, when I did there, strumming the first time through, making sure I know how the song goes, right? Second time through, I went through pluck. I did a full pluck, and then a couple of these for my arpeggio pattern. Bum, 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 bum. Be thinking about that as an opportunity, those of you guys that are working on your claw, to be saying, hey, not only can I do this, but I can also then add in some arpeggios after the big clunk, right? Because a lot of times we're going to have a big chord at the first of the measure. It helps kind of keep everything nice and neat and orderly. So that's pretty common. And then you will have, you can add in some plucking after that. So you're mixing up chord play and arpeggio play. And then, boy, you sound like you really know what you're doing. The goal we're always working on is, hey, I want to sound like I'm really, really good at what I do without necessarily knowing what I'm doing. Okay. And so that's that. Yeah. Valerie's like, yeah, Liszt. You guys are nerds, man. All the pro Bartok, pro Liszt, pro all this stuff. One of these days, somebody's going to come and be like, I want to do some 21 Pilots, right? And you're like, I know, I've heard of them. That's all I know about them. Let's see. Copy on this date doesn't seem to have the correct repeats. So I'm working off of March 22nd, 2020, which you guys may have. I've published this 80,000 times. Mine is March 22nd. It's possible you guys have a different one. Let me just go peek. What did I put up there? What did I do? March 22nd, 2020. Yeah, I just played the one that's linked off of the website. So hopefully, yeah, Jack, the one that's on the website right now is the one you should have. You might, if you have a previous version, which there have been previous versions that so you might have a little bit different one. So if you have a different one than the one that's on the website, print the one off the website, because that's the one we'll play from on Friday. All right, so there's the chords. Okay. I'm a nerd and I'm not ashamed. I'm a nerd and I'm willing to say it in public. You might have gathered that this guy right here is, I think this is the highest level of nerd you can be. And then I think I'm right about here. That's where I think I am. Okay. I made a full-time-ish career out of this, right? The cool people don't do that. All right. Let's play the melody. Okay, nothing's fancy in the melody. Let's play it at speed. Okay, so play with me. It says 80. Let's play it about 100. Let's see how fast you can go. Okay, and if you mess up, you can't worry about it. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's just something that happened in the past. Okay, pay attention. and get to your next note. Don't fall asleep. 1, 2. How'd we do? Okay, I played it a little bit faster than noted on purpose, just to see how you're feeling about that. If you're keeping up with me, that's a very, very good sign that you're exactly where you need to be. If you're struggling a little bit, we just got to spend a little bit more time playing through the melody lines, right? We have this tendency to grab Gary's sheet music and go straight to tough uke because that's the cool stuff, right? And we know that, and I'm the same way. But we really, really, really want to be able to play with others, and one of the ways that we play with others is we're the melody. We have the high-pitched instrument. We have the chance to play really crazy melodies in a relatively short space, so we can play faster than other instruments can. Not faster than piano, but fast. And so we want to always be thinking about, hey, as a melody player, as somebody who's going to be in the lead guitarist, we want to be really comfy with playing melody, and we starts by reading tablature, right, and reading that at full speed and getting that way up just as fast as you can. And then long term, for some of you guys, not all of you, it's not required by any means, but a few of you will be like, hey, I'm going to be playing music with other people. They may or may not have the ukulele tabs. I need to be able to read the singer's line, and be able to play those notes from the singer's repertoire. And so we look not toward piano music or that type of stuff, but we look at a vocalist line. Can we pluck out a vocal line based on standard notation? So sometimes, depending on what your goals are in life and whether you want to play with other people in that manner, we want to, you might want to be able to do that. Okay. All right. Finally, tough uke. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ukulele players are cool. The rest of the world just doesn't know yet. Yeah. I don't want this to be shocking to you, Fran, but we're not cool. We're nice, we're lovely, but we're not cool. All right. Let's play the tough uke. Nice, and we'll play it twice through, and then we'll move on. Okay. From the top. Take your time. We'll slow it way down. Get it down to about 70. Okay. Oh, by the way, it's a lullaby. It's a lullaby. Clean, pretty, beautiful, connected notes. Don't do anything over here that you don't have to do. Let all of the tones develop fully. Get the most you can possibly out of your ukulele. We got to put the baby to sleep, and the baby is a mess, right? And so we're going to make this ukulele just come together and be as beautiful and as clean and as nice and as pretty as possible, so that the baby's like, oh, life's going to be okay. And it's asleep, okay? We do have fun. We do have fun. I imagine cool people have fun too, right? But I think there's a lot of pressure on them, right? We don't have that same pressure. Here we go. From the top. 1, 2. To the top. Okay, that's a really pretty tune. And Brahms knows a little bit about writing music, and that's just really, really solid. There is nothing that you can say negative about that tune. Absolutely beautiful. Except we do need to rewrite the words, and I'm counting on you guys to do that. Make them better. All right, let's pull up Skater's Waltz for me real quick. I do want to talk to you about a couple of things as I was playing through it last night and today that I've decided, and I think I can help you think it through just a little bit. Okay. So on Skater's Waltz, and we did it yesterday. So if you weren't here yesterday, just go into the archive, grab the sheet music, and come play with us. It's also, I have it on the, I think I probably have it on the Friday list. Yeah, it's on the Friday list. So if you didn't get it yesterday, get it today. And what I want to do is talk to you about a couple of fingering choices and a couple of things that kind of sound weird. And I had to make a choice, and my choice was right. The first four measures are exactly what they should be. Okay, so let's practice those. Okay, you've got your D chord, and remember, you got to do this staccato thing. So as soon as you hit it, lift up your left hand. Don't lift it up, but just loosen it. Okay, so that it stops the sound. And then put the bar on for measure 2. Add your middle finger for the 3. And then the hard one here is 1, 3, 4. Okay, so I don't have a better solution for that other than 1, 3, 4, and get it on. And then you're going to want to let that ring out. Okay, and I might even, probably put in a thumb there just to create something different, or either one of those is fine. And then you're going to do 2, 4, 5, 7, and then it says to do this big, beautiful 9. Okay, and that is correct, except that it creates a weirdness in the melody at the next measure. So if it's driving you crazy, you're like, I don't recognize this tune. Instead of doing that, it is possible. 1, 3, 4. Let me get it right. Okay. 2, 4, 5, 7, and then go to a regular D chord. Okay, because what that will do is that creates an F sharp here, and this is the F sharp up here, number 9. That you're going for this high F sharp, and if you put a regular D chord on, you'll get the low F sharp. I would say I like what's here. Da, 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 bunk, 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 and then drop it back down. But for some of you, the sound, the melody gets robbed. And if I could, and I had you play 9 and 2 at the same time, I'd have you do that, right? But that's not going to work. Okay, so playing it as written. It's going to work as well. So what I've written, I'm sticking with. But if it's driving you bananas, do the 2, 4, 5, 7 run, and then go grab a D chord and just play 3 strings. Okay, so I don't know if necessarily solves the problem. It just gives you a different way to think about it. I think I would much rather, from a ukulele instrumentalist perspective, having you do this one because it's way harder, way more interesting. I mean, your neighborhood ukulele player isn't doing that chord. Okay, you're doing it as a regular basis. That's something we do around here. Okay, so there's that. Now let's go ahead on to measure 6. And remember, from 6 through, I want to talk 6 through 9 right now, because at 10, I want to give you a suggestion. Okay, so remember that first chord is loud, followed by two less loud ones. Okay, so go from measure 6. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bum. Now, so I'm going to play that again. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so that you get the idea of what I'm really after here. Okay. I think the challenge here is that it feels very busy when it's not, and I'm even already making too much motion. Okay, so if I'm at measure 6 and I'm going to go, I can actually roll my ring finger down here to get this 2, so it's covering up both of those 2s. Okay, so that's probably a better solution. D strum. Okay, and I'm just dropping my ring finger to cover both of those. And then I'm going to go to this 1, and I don't need to move my ring finger. He's already on 2. That sounds cool. And then add your pinky to get the 3s. And then all you have to do is lift your pinky up, put it back, and then lose it. The whole time I can keep my ring finger on that too. It doesn't need to move anywhere. It just minimizes the amount of activity you're doing over here. Okay. Now measure 10. I got a really specific fingering pattern that's going to make your life better. Okay. So you're coming out of this on measure 9, right? You've got 2 A7s. Now put your middle finger on the 2 of the first string. That's your first chord in 10. Okay, put your ring finger on the 3, and then put your pinky finger on the 4. Okay, and guess what we got going on there? We have a bar chord going on here. Okay, this is here. It's not technically a bar chord. You just got G minor. No, you don't. Never mind. Ignore what I was about to say. All right. Skater's Waltz at 10. You're coming out of A7. Add the 2. Add your ring. Add your pinky. The reason you want to do that, you want that. So I have my paper marked as MRP, middle, ring, pinky. The reason you want that is then you can do the bar chord that's coming up next very, very simply. Okay, bum, bum, bum. You're here. Okay, last chord in measure 10. And then you just put the bar on it too. Doesn't that sound cool? And then you still have the bar on 12. Now, I don't have a better solution for 7677. That's just going to be a little bit tough to get on. That's a motion you'll have to practice. Getting this on 6777. It sounds awesome. Okay. And then the tough one, of course, is bar on 2, ring on 5, ring on 4, pinky on 5. Then go for your full G chord and lift up your middle finger at the first chord of measure 15. And then put it back down. Measure 17, you got a regular D chord. A regular A7, add to the 3. And then 19. And then you got your D chord. Now, this is one of those places where being fast is going to pay off. because 2023, 020, is something that as ukulele players, as instrumentalists, we should be able to play that without really thinking about it. Okay, so it's 2023, 020, and obviously that's a big old fancy transition to go into 21, and 21 from 21 to the end of the song is essentially identical to 5 through 18. Okay, so you're not having to learn anything more, you're just having to play differently, or you don't have to learn anything else at all. You just have to remember you've already played it and you're going to do the same thing. So I was talking at measure 5. If you don't like the sound of those 9s and 10s and 11s, which I love, okay, you can take what's in measure 21 and play that for measure 5. If measure 5 is just too daggone hard, you would play 4 as written, and then what's showing up in measure 21 is exactly what you can replace measure 5 with. Okay, up to you. All right, so let's go from 21. 1, 2, 3. And those 7s and 6s, you can do it. Okay, and then that fancy B minor. And then I want you to put a fermata over the last chord or the last note in measure 36. Okay, so we want it to be bum, ba-dum. Okay, in his original, that's not there. In ours, it is, because we are going to use that A7 as a fancy way to repeat, get you back to the top of page 1, and then we're going to play that. Okay, what time is it? We got to wrap it up. All right, they're going to be here at 2. I got 5 minutes, right? Right. All right, from the top, this is the second time through. Okay, we'll go slow. 1, 2, 3. Last chord. Okay, that's that. Now, that's a lot. That's a whole lot of stuff going on there. I'm fighting a couple of places, and so hopefully you are too. Hopefully you're not fighting at all. You're like, yeah, I'm way better than Gary. But the idea is we want to get as much of this together as possible, and also knowing is perfectly fine with just playing the melody. It's a really pretty little melody, right? Just eight measures. Awesome. Okay, so that's it. So I just wanted to run past Squater's Waltz one more time, so it had another chance at it. It's harder than I wish it was, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's now a famous phrase. All right, guys, I got to get shut down. I got to go. We got to put exactly the same blinds that are already here, but they'll work. So I will talk to all of you guys tomorrow. If you come to the guitar class, don't come to the guitar class. I want to cancel it right now. And thank you guys for being here. Hopefully all that's making sense. I'm as always, way behind on emails. I've gotten an email from a few of you folks, and I will get back to you as quickly as time allows. And I don't know if I know anything else to tell you. Bye, everybody. Bye, Patty. Bye, Pauline. Renee, have a great day. Sandy. Yeah, it is nice when it comes together, right? That it's going to take a while. That one's going to. The problem with Skater's Waltz is you got to get the timing exactly right. Bum 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 bum. We got to get, once you can get the pacing exactly perfect, it'll come together. It really will. All right. Thanks, Phyllis. Good to see you. Kari, good to see you. All right, guys. I got to end the stream. I'm sure they're going to be here any second, and I want to get all my stuff moved the rest of out of the way. So have a good night. I'll see you guys later.